Okay, so there's a problem with pictures that were old pictures not coming over, or actually anything linked, not coming over from the old Moodle to the new Moodle. They were called legacy course files for the last 2 years, and apparently legacy meant old, which we all know, but it also meant it's going away sometime, and apparently this was the sometime. So I've got this picture that I want that's in this test that you can see is missing right here, and I want to put it in there, and I thought I was just going to be able to link to the old picture, but that did not work. So how do I get my pictures from the old version of Moodle into the new version of Moodle? We can still get to the old Moodle. I can go to 10.66.6.40 is last year's Moodle, and it's running so that we can get 6.40, and it's running so that we can get anything we need to as far as grades and stuff. I always keep the previous year's version of Moodle running. So here's the previous year's version of Moodle, and I want to get all my stuff off of it. So I'm going to go ahead and log in, hopefully, and put my right password in. And I'm going to go to my hardware class where those pictures are that I want to get off my old Moodle. So in the old Moodle, we saw this file that said legacy course files, and it has all the stuff that I've accumulated in my Moodle for years. And I want to get those so I can use them in the new Moodle. So all I have to do is go down to the bottom and say edit course files. And then I have this button right here that says download all. So I'm going to click that download all button, and it's going to create and download a folder to wherever I ask it to download that contains every single thing that's here in the legacy course files, and then I could use that to put them wherever I need them to go into the new Moodle. The idea being that then when courses are backed up and restored, you don't lose them like you used to, which is why they came up with a new course file. So you can see I can save and download that, and I'm going to go ahead and download it to my desktop, which is already there for the purpose of making this video. So I've got this files right here that just downloaded from Moodle, and I'm going to right click on it and go 7-zip extract to files, and it's going to make this this new folder, which actually is over on my other desktop. I'll bring it over here. New folder called files. I'm going to rename that as hardware files because I'm going to have to do it for more than one course. And then in here, I now have every single thing in the same folders that I had on Moodle. And I can then take those and put them into Moodle where the other thing was. So I'm going back over here to the old Moodle, and I can't see the picture when I go to edit. I can just see that there was a picture there called motherboard parts, and if I hit the little, you have to get this here, if I hit the little HTML button, I can see that it was in a folder called 2011 graphics motherboard mbq1.jpg, and I'm like, oh, that's crazy, but I could look over here and I can look that same folder. So I'm going to look here, and I'm going to see that there's a folder called 2011, at least I hope there is. File 2011. And apparently I moved it since I made this question. I just found it. I looked for MBQ1, which is what the name of the file was. So I've got it right here. And now I'm going to kind of split this up so I can look at both at the same time to make it a little easier for myself. If I go back to the regular view, I see that picture. I can just now drag this over here and drop it on there. And now my picture is right there. I want it where it was before, so I'm going to put it after that. Drag it down there we go, and I can delete. I'm just going to click on and delete the old picture. So now the picture that I wanted is back in there, and under the new Moodle it's now embedded in the question so that it's not linked. It's actually part of the course, and it's linked to the question, so when it gets backed up and restored they stay there, which is why they changed it, but it's a little bit convoluted, the act of getting it back in there. So now I've got my question, and basically what I'm doing is I'm previewing my quizzes before, in this case it's the end of chapter test, to make sure all my graphics are in there. I'm going to try to do this one more time, see if I've got another picture in here that isn't showing up. I'm relatively certain there's probably at least one. And just so you know, this is not the case with any one of the pictures. Okay, here's one. Where does the keyboard plug into this computer? There's obviously a picture missing. I hit edit the question, and I can see that there's some picture missing there. So I hit the little down arrow and look at the code, and now it's in graphics motherboard, integrated motherboard items. So I'm graphics motherboard. I'm actually, I think, already in that mother integrated items right there. So I'm going to go back to the regular view. I'm going to drag this picture right into Moodle. I'm going to put it where it goes, which is after the text, and actually down here a little bit. If I can drag it down to where there we go. And I'm going to, oh, stay on page. I'm going to delete this one, hopefully. There we go. So now I've got my picture back in. And unfortunately, it's a little bit of a pain, although it's making me clean up my Moodle a whole lot as far as making sure that all my stuff works the way it's supposed to. So it's a little bit of a pain. One time, go through all my quizzes, one time download all my stuff. So now I've got a folder on my desktop that has all my graphics and everything that I used previously from my old course. And whenever a picture doesn't show up, I know I just have to go there and drag it into where it goes in Moodle.